Hey guys, Slynk and Nemo back with another video. We're doing Pimp My Project episode 2, and I just want to say big thanks to everyone who commented and supported episode 1. I really appreciate all the nice comments, and I think this is going to be a cool series. And I want to say welcome to everyone who joined my Discord server. We're having a lot of fun there, just goofing around, sharing memes and stuff. So if you want to join, there'll be a link in the description. But anyway, let's get right into episode 2. So this project is by Eagle, or Threegle, Smeagol. He sent me his project. It's called Mini Shredder, and he said he started it a few years ago. It's gone through many versions. He's taken a vocal from a YouTube video, and he's given me some suggestions on what he thinks I should fix, but I've already got heaps of ideas on how to fix this song and really pimp it out. I don't have this, so please don't include that in your future submissions. Read the rules, goddammit. Anyway, let's get started here. Okay, so what we might do to just start with is listen to the track all the way through, and I'll just see if I can come up with some ideas on what I think we should change or what we should try and achieve this episode. The first thing I want to do is definitely make the song a lot shorter. 5 minutes 30, 5... It's a bit long.
I want to hear it sing to me, spray and pray.
I think for the start of the song, for there to be like an edit, like a little drum edit thing right there, I think that's a bit early, you know, like you're just starting the groove with the song and then suddenly there's this like edit that kind of pulls you out of the groove. So I think we'll take that out. But I do like this funky little section, then the build up here.
You know what I do like an SMG? I want to hear it shred, I want to hear it go.
I love that. That's cool.
It's a mini shredder.
I really like that build up. I think it's like, it builds a lot of anticipation, but then I feel like the drop doesn't have enough impact, you know, it kind of, the drop is a little bit underwhelming. Yeah, like I think there's some really cool sounds in there. What I don't like is how this part is basically a duplication. It just continues exactly the same. Or close enough for the listener to not really be like, wow, this is really progressing. It's kind of just like copy paste, which is why I think it needs to be a little bit shorter. Let's listen to the drop B.
That's good. All right.
Again, it's like just a kind of copy paste. There's a few changes, don't get me wrong, but it's not a big enough change in my opinion. So I really think we should just delete this amount of time and connect this section with this section. There's a bit of a change with this second section of the melodic drop, but maybe we can incorporate whatever happens in here to the second section. And then we've got, you know, drop 1A and drop 1B connected into one section that's like this length. And then we'll have melodic drop / needs talkbox solo section put together for a total of like this amount of time instead of it being this long. You know what I mean? Let's take a listen to the talkbox solo though. Well, the needs talkbox solo section. So it sort of sounds like this section here. Well, it sounds exactly the same. So yeah, we're kind of like taking it back to the intro, like referencing the intro and getting ready for the build up again. And I think that works. And then we got a build up, which I'm gonna guess is basically the same as the first build up. Slynk funk drop with one bass sound. So how is this different to this section? It's basically the same. Well, let's take a listen to this drop 2A section. It definitely sounds like there's some more ideas in there. So I think we just delete this section, bring this section back. We'll have like another drop that goes for that long. I'll just kind of sketch this out really quick. So yeah, it'll be something like this. I just kind of added a few markers back in so we can really clearly see what's going on. And I think we're looking at a 3.5 minute song, which I think is good. Now comes the hard part where we have to clean everything up here. So one thing I really want to address is the groove of the overall project. If we just listen to the drums here. Right, nothing seems to be wrong with the groove here, but keep listening. That kind of like comes out of nowhere. Everything seems to be really straight and there's no swing to any of the drums. And then out of nowhere, suddenly it's like all swung and stuff. There's no consistency with the drums. So I want to address that. But yeah, I like how he's kind of got his big kicks and snares in one rack here. That's how I do it. Definitely makes for easier side chaining, but I think we need to group all this percussion together. What's on this channel? All right, so I just cleaned up the drum rack section a little bit. Just consolidated the clips. I put the crash in here. I think we need to sort of figure out a little bit of the mix down issues here. I just want to solo the drums. And I'm going to turn this all the way up. I'll just mute the brakes. And I was looking at the drum meter. I'm like, why is the kick and snare peaking just like at full volume? So I looked in here and I started getting scared. What's all this stuff? Yeah, okay, we don't need this to be sidechained or whatever. Let's look at that threshold. That's quite a lot of compression. Let's see if we can make this snare sound a little better. I'm just going to mute the crash actually. This kick, why is it being EQ'd? I have no idea. Let's delete that. This plugin is great just by itself. Again, I just love using this preset and then just tweaking it a bit. That sounds pretty good, I think. So now, finally, we can get some sidechaining happening. It's just a really short sample that's playing at like a very loud volume. Tiny clicks, hitting at like 0 dB. And then I've got two racks here. One rack has two Live 8 compressors and they're already routed to the correct kick and snare triggers. And the same for this one, but live 9, and then all the controls I usually adjust are right there on the front. And the great thing about doing it like this is I can just drag this to anywhere and copy it, and the routing is already ready to go. So I just copy this rack wherever I want to sidechain. Because I have my kick and snare here on the first 2 cells, I can actually just copy paste all this information up here, and that will correspond with the kick trigger and snare trigger in the same cells. Let's take a listen to the drums all together now. Oh yeah, we want to fix this crash. It's pretty loud. What I'm going to do is just put probably a live 8 on that one. And we'll just turn it down a bit. Let's delete any existing sidechain we got. Anyways, maybe I'll just go through and clean up all these loops. I'm just slowly going through these loops and just finding my favorite parts and creating, like, you know, a chunk that we can listen to. But anyways, what I really want to talk about is all these grooves. So when I got in here, this groove was set up like this, 1/8, and I applied it to this drum loop and nothing happened. And then I set it to 1/16 and nothing happened. So I'm wondering, what is this? What is this groove? Okay, that looks right. That looks like it should work. Why isn't it working? It should be like this, I think. More like that. Is there no change? Now I'm questioning what the heck I do. Let's just delete all of these and I'll drag in my groove. Let me see. Grooves. Slynk's funky groove. Okay. Yeah, it's a 16th bass. Okay, no, so it looked right. Yeah, and let's create a pre-kick. Let's put this here. That's what we're looking for. Just a little knock. And now we can make sure we name that. Okay. Put some pre-kicks in. Oh my god. Why the fuck are we at 200 BPM? What the fuck is going on? Oh man. Oh, what a mess. Oh. Alright. I'm gonna take a break. Okay, calm down. We can fix this. We can write this song at 200 BPM. Everything is twice as fast, so the groove needs to be half the speed. So if I put this in, times it by 2, and consolidate it, and then set it to 1/8, I think the groove will actually start working now. We'll just have to remember to draw everything on the 8th grid. And now we should get like a... Yeah, that seems right. These hats, I think... way too fast. These would technically be... What is this actually? Yeah, those were 30-second hats. That's way too fast because I've got the grid set to 8th notes, which is really 16ths. What a head fuck. And wait a minute. Yeah, no, we've got it set to 8ths. Man, I'm confusing myself. This is such a dumb idea. But anyway, these drum beats will actually work now if we set the groove on them. There we go. That's the kind of feel I wanted. Here we go. Now we're actually bringing some life into this track. So, back to what I was doing. Put this on the side a bit, maybe. Just so it's not so much in your face. That might sound good. All right, 200 BPM track. Let's go. Let's work on the bass line next. So I'm just checking out the sub. we've got a volume automation at the end here. What's going on there? Just a bit of a dip, not really much reason there. I'm just going to delete that. Got a little bit of vibrato happening on some bass hits, but it's not really doing a ton. I'm just going to take that out. Kick sidechain. We've got new sidechain now. Oh, let's have a look at the master. In quotation marks, mastering. Yep. Take that out. Take this out. This is kind of nice, actually. I had a look at this. What he's doing is just dropping the volume. That's maybe a bit too much, 5 dB. I would go down to max -4, but -3 dB is probably good. But basically, he's just dropping the volume so that when the build-up happens, it feels more intense. What you should do is maybe just set a minimum of -4. We should just go like this. And I'm not really sure what's going on here. I wonder how the drums sound now that I deleted all that stuff off of the master. Oh, things are just so much more cleaner now. I've been making bad decisions because I didn't realize all that stuff was on the master. I'm like, yeah, let's work on the bass line next. Next minute, working on the drums again. Just put some stereo action on this one. The snare's not too bad. I'm glad I didn't have to make a new snare. So we need to go through all here, delete the stuff we don't need. I wouldn't recommend doing this, put in a limiter on a massive group like this and cranking it like that. Let's take that off. Let's take this off as well. I don't see a problem with any of that. Nothing on that channel. If there's nothing on this channel, then we can just put these guys up here. Is there anything else on this channel? No, there isn't. Okay, delete. That's all fine. Let's take a look at the MIDI basses. Okay, this is kind of like that hook that always happens over and over. Let's take a look at this patch real quick. I think it sounds better like that, actually. We got a sub under this anyways, don't we? So is this compressor even on? I might just turn this off. Compress it and whatnot outside the box. Maybe an OTT. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff on here too. Damn it. Let's take all this off for right now. I might end up putting in that cut again. Let's just turn this volume all the way up. Sounds kind of distorty. I guess there's this distortion on there. Maybe we can back off on the drive here. Let's take a quick look at these envelopes. Yeah, what about this? What's affecting the volume there? Envelope. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Maybe that sounds a little better. Not really sure. Alright, let's take a look at this. That sounds pretty cool. There is a lot of plugins and stuff on here. 2 OTTs? How over the top do you need it? To have 2 OTTs. I'm just going to bounce this. I don't really care for having 2 different groups for bass lines. We should really have all this in one. What's this sound? I want to identify what's a bass and what's not a bass. I want to see how that sounds to the preset I actually have in my library. I think mine's maybe a little smoother. Okay, let's give this some bass color. Okay, so we got instruments, we got bass, we got sub, and we got vocals and effects. Cool. I'm starting to make sense of all this. So I'm just going through all these bass channels and just trying to get the similar sounds on to the same channel. This one's kind of layered, but how important is that? Yeah, there's a nice tail on that. But are we going to miss it? Yeah, like we can put all this on one channel here. This is the kind of stuff that causes big peaks and mixdown problems. I'm just going to slap that right over the top. Because I don't think that's really all that important to have that one bass layered over the other one. I think it's just causing a peaking issue. Yeah, but definitely getting similar sounds onto one channel is like a good way to just make sure there's no peaks, really. Cool, we're slowly consolidating this. I don't want to just select everything and just plonk it on top because I want to make like informed decisions about where these things are going. Because I really don't want to like, if I just plonk that onto there, it's going to cut this off. So I'm just going to trim that back. Whew. Trimming it down. I should have called this series Slynk is a cleaning lady.
Who'd have guessed?
This is so loud, this patch. It's hitting at plus 5 dB. What's the reason for that? Oh, that goes to 0. Okay. Is it it must be the EQ. It's really, yeah, adding a lot of volume. This is even turned up. Let's turn this down. Just trying to make this super saw sound a little bit better. Obviously we're peaking like, oh fuck, but that's fine. That's fine. I think that sounds a little bit better. All right, let's take a look at this chiptune stuff. Okay, lead solo. I feel like it needs like a little bit more movement than just being a straight up saw wave, you know? Let's work on this bass line a little bit more. We'll definitely want to cut in here at about 100 hertz or so. I'm going to boost this a little bit. It's a good sound, but I think it's missing a lot of like frequencies. Yeah, I don't know how well they layer. Maybe we just take that out. This sound really needs to be like wider, I think. Aha, it was off the groove. Let's move this one over. Yeah, I'm just not so sure about those two layering there. What about if we like alternate them? This needs to have the groove on it too. Such a weak sound. Put a glue on here and then... What is that note? Mana, mana. We can like crank this up actually. I think we got a wrong note in there somewhere. And I think it's that one. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with this theme here. Let's copy this over here. Okay, we're starting to refine this. Let's get these little chops on the right grid lines here. There we go, we can see them a little bit better now. And just grooving things makes everything sound so much cooler. Now, in my user library, I've got a little tool where we can quickly automate stereo width. And I think I just want to slap a little bit onto these guys. Yeah, because they were really flat and in the middle. Cool. All right, let's try and get these instruments tamed and working. That sounds a bit better like that. Maybe we'll put 2 little whoops. So much reverb on that. Change these notes up a bit. That's a little bit more interesting. Yeah, and this kind of like lays on top of this stuff. Something sounds funny there. Oh, there's a weird bass note. What's going on here? This should all be sitting on the 8ths. Yeah? 8th. Why does that sound like it's coming in early? What's happening? For some reason this sounds like it's out of time or something. Let's take this out. Yeah, that's a side effect of that vibrato rack, is that it does add a tiny bit of delay to the whole channel. Yeah, let's make this a different chord. I'm thinking like, oh, I shouldn't sing. Like a chord that's a little lower. I think I can write a better chord than that, actually. Making this jazzy. Let's change this chord out. It's just triads. Let's get a chord on the 1 too. Yeah, like a nice jazzy chord like that. Yeah, that's what we want. I think that sounds pretty good. Hey, those hoovers are pretty loud. Glue compressor on everything. I think that sounds a little bit better for sure. of work to do over here on this next section. This is going to take a long time to fix. All right, so this is a couple of days later, and just in the interest of making this video a little bit shorter, I've just started on this second section here. I'm not adding anything new. I'm just cutting up what's already here and just, you know, making it work, making a kind of pattern that I think actually sounds nice. So I'll just play from back here and then you can hear what I've got. So you can hear how messy this section is. There's a lot of stuff happening that's not on the groove. It's all kind of just layered willy-nilly all over the top of each other. So I'm going to try and bring back some of the elements from this first half and hopefully include some of the new elements in here to sort of have an alternating repetition, so to speak. So I think I just want to delete all of this stuff here and just paste in this. Like, what note is that? That is not the note that these are not the notes you're looking for. Like, that sounds cool, but it doesn't make any sense unless it's in the right key, you know? And then, what's this stuff? We can use this little attacky sounds. Let's try it like here. Nah, not quite. Maybe there. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it sounds cool. And we got to tidy up this subsection as well. We could maybe go up an octave with this. Whoa. Let's cut this short a little bit. All right, and I don't want anything bassy on top of this chord, but what do we have in here? This is useless because that's getting sidechained. Okay, this is a lot of the same kind of stuff. Let's like refine this groove a little bit. Is that like one note really? Yeah. What did we do in the first half of this section? Yeah, we had like a cool little growly chop up thing there. So let's see what else we have over here. We could maybe try that. There's actually tons of stuff in this clip, so maybe I'll just like copy this and I'll just find like a section that sounds cool. Oh, that's pretty nice. We could maybe do like a little different note change. Dun, dun. Give that pitch the D. Pitches love the D, by the way. All right, and it's really important to like go back and listen to what you've done to make sure it like makes sense. Yeah, I think that works. So we just need like a better sound for the one here. What about this one? That's pretty cool. Wow. Let's flip these subnotes around. So it's like. Cut this chord short. Actually, I might leave the chord long. Maybe we'll put a blip at the end. Hey, that actually sounds pretty cool there. I think the groove is a little off. Yeah, it is. Let's push this over here like this. It's like boop-a-doop-a-doo. There's a lot of stuff happening at the same time here. I brought this stuff in because I want it to sort of like reference back here, you know, and this sound here is like referencing the first section, so it all kind of connects. And if you have it just once randomly, it's going to be weird. It's got to be like the same kind of, you know, I kind of feel like that's the hook of the song, that bow, bow, bow. So I want to bring that in. There's a lot of other stuff happening here though. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, not really a fan of that. I think we just want chord blasts. Oh, there's like a little echo on that. Hey, maybe we should put that like this. Yeah. I feel like this needs two sounds, like, so it's like, I'm just gonna cut this here because I think there's a bunch. Yeah, let's just find like short sounds. That sounds pretty tough actually. Maybe we don't even need that chord because it's just getting sidechained out anyways. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool actually. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. You gotta think about it rhythmically. Oh, you know what I should do is just kind of like move this over. Hey. Let's make this a different sound though. Take this, put it over here, take a little sound. Kind of like how that's kind of like a little sub sound, you know, a little thud. See how much fucking groove that gives it? It's just like, if you just pay attention to the rhythm a little bit more and you know, like the sound design in this track is, it's not like Cohen sound level or anything, but it's good, you know, like interesting and different. It's not just like saw waves out of a synth. The arrangement just didn't have any like funk, didn't have any rhythm. Like this sounds cool now, you can actually bounce to it, you know. Let's really quick try to make the intro sound a little bit better here. Let's just paste in these drums here. Alright, I mean, I can go into detail there, but this video is so long. So I'm just going to render out this much and we'll compare it to the original. Oh, and by the way, on the master, I got a utility turning everything down by 7 dB. iZotope Zone 5, just with some multiband dynamics processing, and then a fab filter. And I just tweaked this gain until I was hitting around -8 dB for the RMS. And I should probably turn this look ahead down. But yeah, mastering. All right, be right back. All right, so I loaded up the original project here. And what I might do is just cut this section out so it kind of matches up with what I did, because that's what I did and I thought it was a bit too long. So I thought I'd have this part connect with this part. So for comparison, we'll just do that really quick. All right, let's listen to the original first.
I want to hear it sing to me, spray and pray. You know what I do like in an SMG? I want to hear it shred, I want to hear it go.
Just listening back to the original, I realized, man, there's so much sub in the original. I think I have it a little bit more balanced in this version. Let's take a listen. I'll just turn this off as well, because this is already being quote unquote mastered.
I want to hear it sing to me. Spray and pray. You know what I do like in an SMG? I want to hear it shred. I want to hear it go. It's like a little M240 mini shredder, 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 mini shredder.
Yeah, so there you go. I think it sounds pretty good. So I think that went pretty well. It took a lot longer than I anticipated to really clean everything up. But once I started making sense of what was going on and figuring out what was layered on top of what, I could start to isolate and fix some of the mixdown issues. As you can tell, it sounded a lot better in the master. Some of you might be saying like, oh, the kick is too punchy, or that one bass sound is too messed up. I maybe spent 3-4 hours total working on this project. If this was my song, I'd spend a week on it for sure and just really tighten everything up. But this is a YouTube video that I'm putting out for free. I just wanted to show an improvement and kind of like show my take on how the song should sound, you know what I mean? I think this really illustrates the power of just like rhythm, a little bit of swing. It brings the whole song to life, in my opinion anyway. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, music is what feelings sound like. Peace.
I'm always on the internet.